feel like I'm having one of those moments where, did I leave the kitchen water running? Is the oven on? One of those kind of afternoons. Like, what? I'm forgetting something. I know I'm forgetting something. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be in time and space. Tony T. Kineas 2020 on the forums here. And today I am on a quest, if you will. A journey to find the perfect tamale in my head. Anyway, you know, just imagining. So I've scheduled a flight. I have an upcoming event soon, and I'm actually going to be making tamales. And I thought, man, you know, I would actually like to take some time, do some proper research on authentic Mexican food, and go do a giant taste test. That would be awesome. And you know, Dallas, Texas isn't too far away. I thought, well, that'd be a nice place to go to, you know, research some pretty authentic, I would think, Mexican food. And I would imagine that I would find a good tamale or two Mexican food and somewhere down in Dallas, Fort Worth area. So that's what this flight is all about. The imaginary quest, find the perfect tamale in my head in Dallas. So that's what we're flying there for. Okay, also to add extra challenge to this and keep me give me something to do, keep it delayed and extend this out a little bit more. We're going to do a manual flight entry. I'm going to try to remember how to do all that. Use the computer in the Airbus here, the standard Airbus and Microsoft Flight Simulator, to create a manual flight plan and get us there. So here we go. We'll do our best. I will do my best. Thank you for joining. I love having co-pilots along the way, and please, I welcome your constructive criticism and or input. Okay, let's get this thing ready to fly. One of the things I'm going to need to do this is Skyvector. So let me get that open. I should have had that done first. But I need this to help me flight plan. Now let me turn this on to show you what I'm going to be looking at and writing down here. What I'm trying to do is activate Skyvector right now. There it is. And it should be popping up on your screen right about now. Okay. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to type in KDEN, and the arrival destination is to my. Now I'm forgetting the Dallas Fort Worth Airport. How stupid. It's like KDAL or something like that. I have to look. Well, at least I'm in Skyvector and I can look it up. So let's do Dallas. Just had it in my head. Dallas Fort Worth. ADFW, Dallas Fort Worth International. ADFW. Okay, great. Let's go back up to home. ADFW. Dallas Fort Worth. Okay, so approximately like 622 miles from there to there. And we can have it pick routes. If we click routes here, it should set up one for us. That's one way to do it. Get your points. Another way is to click points you want. So if I wanted to head south first, I can grab this and put it wherever I want and make a point. Let's see, what is the common route? Okay. So So FQF, that takes us to a VOR, and then puts us on the Victor Airway, Victor 389, to Pueblo, to the Victor 81, to the VOR PNH, then on to Victor 114. This is all mostly Victors, and no, this will work. This will work. Okay. And we're going to need an arrival, the arrival information. For Dallas Fort Worth. Probably don't need this till we get closer, but we can plan for it. You know, plan for a runway like 17 right. So these are the instrument approach procedures. Let's try it. 17 right. There's the ILS frequencies. All right. Okay, let's get into that's all I need for the moment, is to have that information ready to go. So to help us do this in the plane, let me turn this off. Get back here. Hope you're having a great day. 6 messages already. We don't even have radios on. Okay. All right, let's go through our checklist. Before starting the engine, the battery switches. On the external power on if available. Well, you know, now that we have the battery done, the first thing you can do once the batteries are done is to make sure your autopilot isn't handling the radio communications, which is good because normally he'll just immediately call for a pushback. You may or may not have run into that, but be advised, if you have the AI handling radios right now, he's usually right off the bat, before you've even gone through your procedures, he wants a pushback. Thanks. Okay, but we should have radios now. We've got at least the batteries on, and we can ask for an external power supply hookup for the airplane while we're sitting here doing our stuff. Maybe. Okay. Okay, so now that we have batteries on, we can access air traffic control and speak to Denver ground. And go to ground services. And we can request, stretch this out a little bit. And okay, power supply.
Denver ground, Kinney is 2-1. Could you please send a ground power unit? Kinney is 2-1. A ground power unit is on the road.
All right, so if we look outside, we'll see him pulling up here in a moment. You know, that guy coming over with this truck right there. Get a little bit of lag. And he's just got a giant generator on the back, and he hooks us up. And so we use their power while we're sitting here. Okay, keep going with our checklist. We can also get other things going while we're doing this as well. I should probably point that out, not just the power supply. If you're into the eye candy, we can have the baggage service started.
Denver ground, Kinney is 2-1. Could you please send the baggage? Kinney is 2-1. Baggage is on the way.
We can have our catering service set up.
Kinney is 2-1. Could you please send the catering truck? Kinney is 2-1. The catering truck is on the road.
And we can also do our fuel supply.
Denver ground, Kinney is 2-1. Could you please send a fuel truck? Kinney is 2-1. A fuel truck is on the road.
Okay, so there's the catering truck. Think about how much you got to trust these guys to bring these vehicles within centimeters of the aircraft. and trust that they just aren't having a bad day and smack into it. Okay, so there's our catering truck. We'll get our snacks. These gentlemen over here, and or ladies, I don't know, they are loading up our baggage. When the fuel truck arrives, we'll get a prompt. Okay, so now let's keep, to how much add fuel. Now we can go back to our checklists. Okay, batteries are on, external power on if available. We're getting our external power. Engine generators. They're set to fault, turn them on. Yeah. On, fault displayed. Oh, so you don't turn them on. Right? Air bleed. Bleed. Don't know. That one's not showing. APU master. Engine bleed switches must be set to on. There's a typo there. And it's not. It wasn't going. So we can try to have it auto complete item.
Engine bleed air switches on.
Thank you. Appreciate that. APU start. And then once you click that, you have to wait. Usually there was a timer that would run down to show you how long you had to wait. Normally you wait for it to say available. So we'll wait a moment, but yeah, there's normally so they've changed something. There it is. Now it's available. APU bleed. I wonder if these are the bleed switches. There's an engine bleed air switches. So those are new to me. Ram air. Okay, there's our fuel truck. And so I'll just put a little bit more in. Okay. APU bleed on. External power. Now we can turn it off. Fuel pumps. The beacon. And that completes that. Okay, so now that we've turned off external power, go back to ATC. Request power supply end.
Denver ground, Kineas 2-1. I am done with power.
Okay. So now, before we start the engines, let's go down into the MCDU. Okay. So the only two main buttons we need to concern ourselves with are init. Look over here, just make sure. Init and flight plan. I believe those are the only two we really need to pay attention with. We'll be messing with maybe radio nav for the ILS frequency. We'll be playing with this later along the route, just along the flight, to mess with VOR and other things. We'll play with that a little bit. Okay. So in it, what we do in it is we set up our to and from, where we're at, where we're going, to get a perfect tamale. Okay. So we need to put in KDEN because we are in Denver, Colorado. So just type that in. Your wherever you're starting from. You might not be. And then you put that /, and then you enter where you're going. In this case, KDFW. I've had a problem where sometimes it doesn't take on the first click. It's a little bit buggy, so I'll click it and cross my fingers. Like that. It didn't respond. Come on. Yeah. Why it does that? I don't know. So normally sometimes the second try is the winner. So let's try it again. Okay. Oh, it just took it. It finally just set. Okay. So now up in the corner, it says KDEN to KDFW. All right. You don't have to mess with cost index and the cruise flight level. If you want to, there's other videos out there that tell you how to do that. You don't have to. Keep it simple. I think actually this one will auto-populate. No, it didn't. I was going to say some of these, if you just click them, they'll auto-populate. So if we were to, or at least one will, like if we put in, let's say, I don't know, like 15,000 feet as a cruise, it'll give us our temperature approximately. Well, let's just try that 1.5. Oops, clear. 15000. Click that and see if it gives us our, yeah, -15 all the way up there. Double check, see if anybody's chatting. Okay, good. I missed chat yesterday. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry if I missed your chat specifically. Okay, now our flight plan page. This is where the bulk of everything is done. So when we get in there, the first thing you see is that we've got our to and from set up from Denver. So imagine this in your head. Well, it's easily imagined on this screen up here. We'll visualize it here in just a moment. But it's saying what we have here is from Denver to the deceleration point to our destination. So there's currently 3 points in this flight plan. We're at the deceleration point and the destination. And again, we can see this on our display here, our flight plan. And if we use this switch up, these switches up here on our dash, and select this first one here to plan, and this one set the range. Well, this is 320 miles. We can barely see it where we're going. But as we add points in there, we'll be able to see it better. If you use the up and down arrow keys on the flight plan screen, it'll move you different points in the flight plan so you can see them. It's difficult keeping this little flight plan screen and this MCDU on the screen at the same time. I'm doing my best. And the MCDU up is down and down is up. So let me click the up arrow to go down the deceleration point. Yeah. Not showing me. Making a fool out of me. I'm not moving through the plan. Okay. We'll just move on. Roll back to the top. Okay. We click on our airport here in Denver. Click on KDEN or wherever you're taking off from. All right. Here's where you load your procedures to your departure procedure. Now, in this case, I'm not going to use a departure procedure. We're going to just take off and go straight out. But to find departure procedures, again, go back to Skyvector. Here's where the information is. Up. Take us back to Denver. And if you right click on the airport, you'll get all the charts that you need. The toughest thing about let me start out this way. The most beautiful thing about Microsoft Flight Simulator and the world map flight planning interface is you can easily click through and see all of the departure and arrival procedures visually by selecting them. Prior to a tool like Microsoft Flight Simulator's Flight Planner, you have to do this. You have to come to the airport. You have to find and go through every single departure procedure PDF to find the right one. That's the wrong airport. That's Amarillo, Texas. Like, how come there's so few? I'm confused. Okay, you click, there's Denver. As you scroll through, these are all the instrument approach procedures that you would go through to find the one that you need. Ugh. Same thing with the departure procedures. How in the world, without having experience of the airports and the procedures, are you going to know what is the proper procedure, depart procedure, when leaving Denver from the runway that you're going to be assigned to? It's a pain in the rear. Look at all of these, and Denver's got a lot of runways. So what we had to do, what I've had to do in learning how to flight plan before Microsoft Flight Simulator, is go through every single one to try to find the one that facilitates leaving the runway that I'm leaving on. That's what they're for. Okay, imagine this, if you will. When you leave your driveway, there's a proper way for you to leave your driveway, go down to the end of the street, and make your way to a highway and get on the highway. You can plan a route from your driveway that goes and takes off in any direction first. You can go up the street and then go around the block a few times and then go downtown and then make your way to the highway. So all the possibilities when leaving your driveway to get to the highway, right? Ultimately, you want the shortest route. You want the fastest route from your driveway to get you out of the driveway, down the street, and onto the highway. That's what these departure procedures are. They are the fastest routes from your runway, your driveway, to go wherever you're going as fast as possible. But again, it requires that you go through every single one. So let me give you an example of what these things look like. Here's the Baylor 6, and I'm not sure which runway it facilitates, but let's take a look at one of these things. Rotate it. Okay. So what you're looking at here, it looks like I need to fix the screen for you a little bit. Okay. What we're looking at here is the airport, and all these black lines are how you take off from those runways. Okay. Now these stars here that all these arrows are pointing to, those are waypoints. Basically, the runways are your driveway. These points are these starred points are your roads, are the road or streets points to get to the highway. All these points right here, we're not on the highway yet. We're just making our way from an airport out to a highway. All right. So we could use this departure procedure. It says here for any of these runways. So we kind of picked a good one, luckily. but we're heading south. You know, you see how all of these are heading west. So ultimately we could use this, but it's not perfect. We want to head directly south as fast as possible when leaving Denver International Airport. Okay, so let's take a look at another one. Departure, let's try Chewy 1. Okay, find the airport on the diagram and look at what all the arrows are doing. They're all going north. Again, all the little star points are your streets taking you out to a highway. You don't actually get out on the highway until you pass this Chewy point. Chewy. Way up here. That's when you leave your street and get onto a highway. All right. So this doesn't really work either. If we jump back and I need to adjust this so you can see things. Have the Skyvector set up properly. One moment. Realize that right now. The window is too big. That's a little bit better. Now you can at least see the whole page as I'm saying it. Okay, so here's the runway down here, and all the arrows are going north. All right, so you see how it can take a lot of time to go through every one and find the right one. Again, that is one of the most amazing things that people don't understand about Microsoft Flight Simulator and how amazing it is to just do this and click through these names and see all the different approaches and departures just visually from the world map. So realize that next time you're doing that, how awesome that is. Okay, or not. I'm a geek. It impresses the heck out of me. Let's turn this off. So what does that mean? It means that here, okay, departure, we're at Denver, and we click here, and we don't have a runway assigned to us by air traffic control yet. And then here's all the transitions. Go back into that. Here's the departure, and either way, let me let's see if I can file now. Again, it's been a long time. Forgive me. I'm going to be making mistakes. But let me go back to clearance. And tune. And okay, now that we've filed a to and a from, we can request in-flight rules clearance for an instrument flight plan. And we'll get our runway assigned to us. Now that's something I haven't done in a while, and that is control the radios manually, because the radios were busted for a long time, and if you messed with them, it would screw up everything. So today I'm going to try it. I'm going to grab myself a little notepad. One moment, sir. I'm trying to live stream and get this information recorded. Okay, let me read it back.
Takeoff runway 26 climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Departure on 126.1 squawk 0447.
1261 and the squawk is 0447. Okay. Now let's go back to our MCDU. We can click on departure. Now that we have a runway assigned to us is 26. Remember, down is up and up is down. I'm clicking the up arrow to go down in my runway list. There's runway 26. Let me select that. Now that we have runway 26 selected, it tells us what departure do you want to use? None or Denver 2? Since it's actually good, which is cool. Normally, it usually had displayed them all. You had to know which one you wanted. So we'll go ahead and take a chance and we'll just select Denver 2. And hopefully that gets us from our driveway up to the roads fast onto the highway. Okay. And then we insert this into the flight plan. Great. So now it says from Denver, runway 26. In a minute here, it's going to update and put our deceleration point back in the middle. It should. Or not. Now, we can set it up if we click on the Dallas Fort Worth airport. We could try to set up an arrival now, but we don't know what runway they might give us. We can try to set it up now and file a flight plan and hope that they'll give us it. But sometimes they don't, and they change it, and we'll have to, think fast on the fly and follow the procedures when we get there. So with hope, we'll try to set up an arrival on an ILS runway 17C. And again, we don't know. We would have to go through all the PDFs again to know which proper one to choose here. So for the moment, we could choose no star, or we could go back to Skyvector and try to find one. And hopefully maybe if we read through one or two real fast, we'll hit one that works for us. Well, this is normally the way it's done. You go back to Skyvector. Close this one. Okay, come on now. Dallas. I don't want the chart. Come on. There we go. There's Dallas. Same kind of thing. You'd click on it and look for the approach procedures, the arrivals, standard terminal arrivals. Those are departures. Standard terminal arrivals. Let's just see. Berry 1. Okay. Rotate this thing and see what it has to offer us. So now in this case, what you try to do is find where all the arrows are going. And then this one's very confusing. What you try to do is from the outside of the edges, try to work your way inside and find an airport somewhere in there. This is probably not the best one to choose from. This is really complex and making my head spin. But I think this works for coming from the north, the east, and the south. Look at another one. Move 5. Okay, this facilitates flights coming from the west Another one here. Just, I like looking for cute names. Here's Darts 8. What does Darts 8 do? This is more like, this is a departure. I grabbed the wrong chart. I grabbed the departure and not an arrival. Bowie 5. Yeah, that one's easy to read, huh? There's all the different VORs and waypoints to get to the airport. So, you know, this gets really confusing, and I don't want to waste too much more time. You understand the stress of it now. Having to go through every PDF to find and know, or get a book, you know, to where you can flip through them quickly and see the diagrams, but then they change all the time. So one of the best things to do then is just skip it and set it to direct or skip it. So go back and turn off Skyvector. Okay, and just choose no star. But you see how all the names are in here. Barry 1, Bove 5. Bird, Cabby, Kane, CQY. So all those PDFs that we were just scrolling through, those are all these. Dog, Finger, Forney, Gibby, Jove. And these do exactly what those PDFs do. They set up the proper arrival routes to get you from the highway to your street to your runway as fast as possible. And if you're confused like I am and don't know which one to choose, scroll back to the top and choose none. Or no star. You go back. Oh, I think it may have set one up. Arrival 17C. No star. Insert. Okay. Get into Bossy to the decel point to Penny to Zing. Jiffy. The runway 17C. That's pretty straightforward. Now we have a flight plan. That'll get us there. All right, now, what if, let's make things more complicated. Actually, I'm not, but what if you wanted to divert somewhere along the way? What if you're like, oh, well, I need to stop somewhere first, or I want to see something along the way. I want to add some waypoints to this flight plan. All right. But for whatever reason, let's say we wanted to, let me find something interesting on this map. Okay. To facilitate this, let me find a waypoint. Let me click the world low. All right, for whatever reason, let's just say we want to go over here first. We want to go to this point, MCA. Okay. So in this flight plan, we want to go here to the Hugo VOR. All right. So in our flight plan, know if you were seeing that. Let me turn that back on. Yeah, so what I was doing, let me zoom out. I just grabbed this little bar right here. It was going straight this way. And I said, I want to go here on our flight plan. And I set it to the Hugo VOR. Okay. I come back in here, come back to my MCDU. Right. And I go back up to the top of my flight plan. So after we leave Denver and after we leave this bossy, right, I want to add a point in here. Or is it before? Yeah, it's before. In a while. We need to add a waypoint. Next waypoint. And we need to add an HGO. Yes, no? Give it a minute, see if it takes it. There it goes. So it says we're going to go from Denver to HGO to the deceleration point to Bossy. And do I want to approve this? Everything's in amber right at the moment, meaning do we, it's still not set. You hit insert. Okay. So now we've just added the Hugo VOR into the flight plan. All right, now let me go back to Skyvector and try to put us onto a highway after Hugo. Okay. So in our plan, there is the Hugo VOR that we're going to go to. Now, all these lines emanating from it, these thick black lines with the V's on them, those are all highways, Victors. All right. So let's keep going forward in our flight plan. Is purple in there? I don't think it's in there. Let's keep going and let's get on this highway, the Victor 263, to this next VOR down here, which is Lamar, LAA. Okay. So now I'm going to try to tell the computer after HGO, turn and get on the Victor 263 highway and go to LAA. That's what we're going to attempt to do right now. So let me turn this back off. Back to our flight plan. I gotta remember how to do this now. We do it after it or above it? We click on Hugo. Come on, man, remember how to do this. Let me try. Three. And then that. Nope. After? And the LAA, right? Didn't take it. Doing something. Maybe not. Let's see what it did when we go back out. It didn't put the Victor in there. It took LA. Sorry, I know this is probably terribly confusing for you, and it's a refresher for me, and I'm getting confused. It's been a while. I've successfully put LAA in there, but it's way in the wrong spot. There it goes. It adjusted itself. Now it's before the deceleration, but it doesn't tell us that we're on the proper Victor. Once I remember how, this will go much faster. Be much easier to do. Yeah, I'm never going to get those tamales at this point, right? Search it. That is normally how you do that, though. Click on the point, if I'm remembering right. So now we're at LAA. You click on that, and then the next point we want to enter is an airway. So actor. So the next highway I would want to get onto after LAA is the Victor 210. So let's try that. 210. And the next point I would want to go to then would be a VOR, which is liberal at LBL. Working. So it's putting in at the moment it's putting in the VORs, but it's not indicating the highways that we're on. Normally in the past it says V2, it tells you what highway you're going on to. So the Victors I'm putting them in the right column. I'm positive of that. I wonder if they've changed it and you don't have to put the Victor anymore, just the number. Be 210 or 304. Not in database, so you have to put it. ULA LBL. Well, I'm glad it's not taking it because that would have been an error. Okay, so on our flight plan, I currently have us at that position right there. So I would want to turn onto the Victor 304. Normally this is what you do, LBL. I'll try it with this. Try it with the, no, because that won't, if this gives me the proper screen. No, it won't. Otherwise, E304. Take it. Come on. Gonna give it a minute before I try to put in anything else after liberal. You putz, why aren't you working? Anyway, from 304, I would want to follow that down to Orger EDG. I mean, it's not found. Well, that is the name of the VOR. BGD. All right. So that should be set. From there, we're going to go to this point here, Panhandle, ENH. Come on. Take it. Sometimes it takes it and doesn't acknowledge it. So let's go back and look and see if it took it. Didn't put it in. Boy, this thing is giving me fits. I should have chose not to do this today. But again, PNH. PNH is there. Put it. Okay. Try something else. It'd be Victor 304 to PNH. Why isn't PNH not found? When this works, it works beautifully. When not, it does not. All right, let's see if we can find another waypoint instead. Habib, Habeb. A waypoint. Nope. Let's go back out. So the last place it's put in is BGD. Okay, let's try a different route. Let's try. Let's try going to a waypoint. Broke. Because we are broke at the moment. Wow. You son of a gun. Oh, it did take it. It didn't put the Victor in, but it took broke. See if it switches here and moves it back up. Yep. Now there, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's the way it's supposed to work right there. It worked properly on that one. See, I'm not just, it's not me being stupid. It's the simulator. Do you see how it says right there, V272? That's the way it's supposed to work. You put in the airway and then you put in your VOR or your waypoint, and it's supposed to show you what highway you're going on to. That's the way it should look. As I scrolled up this whole thing, it should look like let me go back up, you know, from Hugo, and then it should have a Victor on here that we put in to Lamar, and then the Victor that we put in to LBL, and then the Victor we put into BGD. Why it's just suddenly decided to work for that one, I don't know. All right, well, that's enough. All right, that's enough to show you, you know, how to add your own waypoints when it works right. So now we can look at our flight plan up here. Okay. So there's Denver to Hugo to Lamar, down to these other points to Broke. And then we make our way to the deceleration point and then follow our arrival in. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of work. See, that's the nice thing about these corporate plans and plans for big planes like this. It's all pre-programmed. They don't do anything like this, as far as I know. You know, maybe they're the engineers out there that, you know, create all the flight plans and they put all this together. Normally, I guess people aren't mucking about doing this kind of thing. Okay. We just need now to start the engines. Can't believe that's as far as we've got on the quest for the perfect tamale. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Thrust level levers set to idle. Get your start switch here. Not there. Not that one. This one, put it to start. Turn on engine 2, turn on engine 1. That's it. That's the startup. And you confirm that they're stabilized here after a minute or two. Okay. What are you thinking about our landing in Dallas? You can set your auto brakes to low, medium, and high, depending on what you feel the weather, the surface is going to be. I always just to be safe, I just put it on medium no matter what. I want it to grip. Now we can request a pushback and taxi.
Denver ground, Kineas 2-1 with India ready to taxi IFR. Kineas 2-1 taxi to an hold short of runway 26 using taxiway Charlie November Echo Delta Lima Zulu November Echo Echo Romeo 9 or Romeo Romeo 1. Contact tower on 133 decimal tree when ready.
Okay.
Taxiing hold short runway 26 using taxiway Charlie November Echo Delta Lima Zulu November Echo Echo Romeo 9 or Romeo Romeo 1 Kineas 2-1.
Isn't that confusing? You need to also know the airport diagram. If we were to do this manually, because in the simulator, again, another beautiful thing. It draws arrows from here out to the runway, and it shows us how to get there. In the real world, there's no such thing. Maybe in the real world, they got computers that do it now. That'll do it. But for the most part, you had to do the same thing. You had to go get the chart for the airport, and you have to look at all the taxi ways or read the signs out there on the field and find taxiway CN, the ED, L, ZN, EE, R9, R, R1, R to get us to whatever runway. That's crazy, man. Okay. There's ground services I want to push back.
Denver ground, Kineas 2-1 requesting pushback. Kineas 2-1 pushback request accepted.
Probably good enough.
Denver ground, Kineas 2-1 requesting the end of pushback. Kineas 2-1 request to end pushback received.
Something I said I needed to do that I didn't do in the other videos that made people a little bit mad is I didn't show them the airports. So let me quickly take a moment to show you Denver International Airport. Right, we're out here at terminal gate C, I think. So we're pretty far out from the main where you come in. These are all the gate B stuff. Huge place. And spooky. See if I can change the drone speed. Awful slow. Oh yes, that's much better. This. Wrong. They usually come in from here. You come into the parking. Or you come up in here into the parking. And this is the famous rooftop of the Denver airport. I'm sure others have full roofs now like that, but it's supposed to represent, you know, the white peaks of the mountains. You have the hotel attached to the Denver airport. And let's go up and get a quick overview of the runways. The 35s. It's the 25. Not entirely sure. By the way, there you have it. Denver Airport. And there we are, back at our plane. Yeah, I don't know about you. I need a short little break. So what I like to do here is during the taxi phase, a lovely opportunity to check your AI and see if it's functioning properly. You could do AI piloting. So we've been given our clearance to the runway, that whole cross RH, R, CH, EE, do all that, the instructions to get to the runway. Now the AI is usually really good about getting you there. Now that we've been given clearance. So usually just take a minute and see, turn it on and give it a minute and see what the AI wants to do. If the AI chooses to do it, or are we on our own? Gonna do what you're gonna do. Come on, Steve. Don't let me down, Steve. This is your big shot, man. Come on. Impress everybody. There you go. That's my Steve. Oh. So I like taking this time to go get a cup of coffee. That's really fast now. As we let Steve take us out. Okay, that's too fast. Man, look at him. He's hauling butt. You're going to get a ticket. I'm not paying your ticket, Steve. He's like, you've been wasting these viewers' time long enough. I need to get us out there. They're falling asleep. They hate you. They love me. You suck. Well, live and learn, you know, I mean, hey. Only way to get better is to keep at it. They don't even like tamales, Kineas. They turned off your live stream 20 minutes ago. I am trying to keep an eye on chat. Not that anybody's popped in there, but if you are watching and you have any questions or insults or whatever, I'm good. Cool. Shout it out. If you have any questions, I'm happy to help. If I have to go over anything again, if there's anything you want to see, I'll be happy to take some time to help if I can. I'm no super pro. I'm definitely better than a noob, though. I've been putting in the time and the hours, that's for sure. Oh, I didn't show you where the radios. I said I was going to try to mess with the radios at some point, and I will. Now, the radios, again, I've never messed with them because they've always been broken. They've never functioned properly. It would be nice to, if they do work now. This is the general way to change and switch frequencies. And then the squawk is handled over down here. Like 0447, they have this put it in. You just type in 0447. It'd be in the on position, which it is. This is where you do your squawk. So the ATIS is on 134025. Let's see if we can get that. 134025. Hopefully we don't break things. Yeah. Five. That's it. Swap it.
Denver Airport Information India 21000 Zulu. Wind 262 at 7. Visibility niner. Sky condition few clouds at 4,500 feet ceiling, 12,900 feet broken. Temperature 15. Dew point 13. Altimeter 29.902. ILS runway 25 and ILS runway 26 in use. Landing and departing runway 25 and runway 26. DSR aircraft, say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact, you have India.
All right.
Denver Airport Information Juliet 21000 Zulu. Wind 2.
I didn't shut off though. I transferred it back out
Visibility niner.
and it didn't
Sky
take.
condition
It's replaying.
at 4,000.
So the tower is on 133
900 feet broken.
300.
Temperature 15. Dew point 13. Altimeter
That should be tower. We should, once we get to our runway, we should be able to contact the tower. See it about what I meant about reading all these signs? If you didn't know, you need your binoculars and you have to know how to read all these signs to maneuver around an airport. Ah, there's EE. Ah, yes. And then from EE, we're supposed to go to something out here. EE over to R. And then R, it'll take us to R9. Something like that. Doing fine, Steve. You're awesome. Of course, Kineas, they love me. I'm not fond of brown at all, and but you know, since this flight was like the perfect tamale, I was going with like brown themes, brown color. So I think it's rather ugly. Forgive me. Email that may be your favorite color. You know, it's just a matter of opinion. It's not that bad. But someone's like, oh man, brown and red, man. We've got to go browns and reds, and that'll knock them dead. Right? Isn't taxiing the worst ever? Ever. Almost there. So like I said, I've been saying I want to take this time to go get a cup of coffee, and I haven't yet. So pardon me, I'll be back in 1 minute or 2 minutes. Go grab a cup of coffee, and then we'll Steve should have us where we need to be. We'll contact air traffic control, and we will get underway. Thank you for joining me on this finally the journey find the perfect tamale in Dallas, Texas, and do some imaginary taste testing. BRB. I really enjoy setting up the flights in the MCDU, but again, it really, really makes you appreciate what an achievement Microsoft Flight Simulator as far as the simulation end of it goes. It's still a good idea to, I mean, you can't appreciate it unless you know the difficulty, again, to get all the charts and to know which arrival and which departure to use, and plotting all the waypoints. And it's fun to do, but it's complicated. But again, that gives you, if you've done it that way, you realize what a wonderful thing that they included in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 to allow you to just here's my list of arrivals, and to just scroll through them and see them all visually displayed and decide which one would be the right one to choose. It's so wonderful. So if you make it to the end of this flight, once we get there, again, we'll go back out to the main menu and just appreciate for a minute how fast and wonderful it is to set up a flight plan. But now you know that all those names that you're seeing when you're looking at all the different arrival and departure names, Chewie, Star, Rat, blah, 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 that somebody in Asobo, the people at Asobo, have taken the time to get every single one of those arrivals and departures set up in this simulator. Wow. Thank you. I swear it feels like taxiing takes longer than the flight sometimes. Why did you need to set them up this way? There's absolutely engineered method to all this madness, but it's one of those, it's like, really, did you need to make it a 20-minute trip to get to a runway? There wasn't a more efficient way to do this. I guess with the volume of flights, blah, blah, blah. It probably is stunning, and people probably really actually fly it, probably really love it. Oh, plenty of room. I'm surprised we didn't get stopped on this one. I don't have AI traffic involved, but sometimes when you're doing this particular taxi out from Denver, you'll get a lot of traffic and you have to stop for traffic crossing and all the delays that happen. Okay, we've made it. So we should be able to contact tower now.
Denver Tower, Kineas 2-1 ready for departure runway 26 IFR to DFW. Kineas 2-1 altimeter 29er decimal 9er 2-1 262 and 7. Cleared for takeoff runway 26.
Okay, so Steve will take us out there. Steve will do it all if we want him to, but that's no fun.
Cleared for takeoff runway 26 Kineas 2-1.
So turn your AI off, like me. Now we can actually do something. Feel like we've accomplished something. Well, that's interesting. They're telling us to turn that way. Oh. They said cruise altitude was going to be 13,000 feet. So it's a good idea to plug that in right now. When you engage the autopilot, you don't come plummeting down. Altimeter's fine, 2992. No need to mess with that there. Let's go. I remember when I was first starting out trying to do these, I was having a bad run of luck on takeoffs. I was botching my takeoffs constantly. So after setting up the flight plans and MCDU and going through everything, getting ahead of the runway, and then crash after takeoff, well, yeah, that's fun. Okay, we're over 140. That's our rotate speed. Pull up, but not too much so we don't do a tail strike. Oh, she's heavy. She wants to come down because that fuel I put in. Oh, come on, baby. Up, 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 up. Come on, baby. Up. There we go. She's up. Get our gear up. Get our flaps down and turn the autopilot on. Put the throttle into auto throttle position anywhere between there and there, anywhere in there in the ATHR area. That way you're in auto throttle. I did not, sir. Did not. Say again.
Denver Tower, Kineas 2-1. Say again, please. Kineas 2-1, contact Denver departure on 126.1. Good day.
1261.
126.1 for Kineas 2-1.
Trying to dial that into the radio right now. I slipped.
Denver departure, Kineas 2-1 is passing 9,000 feet, climbing 13,000 feet. Kineas 2-1, Denver departure, altimeter 29.9 to continue as planned.
All right, and it's a lot of this. I haven't landed there yet. Colorado Air and Spaceport. Okay, 11,000 feet. All right. Our next waypoint is Hugo. I plotted that in, right? Into the flight plan. It says right there, HGO. But let's say you wanted to fly that. You wanted to fly to it without using the GPS. So you would need the VOR. Frequency. So that happens to be 1121. right, well, I guess we'll have to wait a second. They want us up to 17,000 feet. That is here. And pull down.
Kinia's 2-1, did you copy? Climb and maintain 17,000 feet, Kinia's 2-1.
Okay. Back to our console. The radio nav button. All right. That frequency was 1121. 1121. Oh, well, I better put the dot. 112.1. And here, VOR1 frequency. 1121. Okay. Now, I want to come up to my top deck.
Kinia's 2-1, contact Denver Center on 125.905. Good day.
Okay, I'm going to just do this the easy way and just say, okay.
125.905 for Kinia's 2-1.
Okay. That is the Hugo VOR that we just dialed in. And we can see on our console right there, it says HGO. 134 degrees, 54.6 miles, 2155. Okay, now let's say we want to make the plane go to it. We need to turn on, first of all, we need to find the VR, switch this to VOR so we can see it. Looks like we're the style do the 180. So you can dial the course that you want, what radial you want, what VOR radial. So I'm dialing 180 and then you select CRS on the radio nav page. Now it's dialed into 180. And now you come up to your deck and you select localizer. And now over here, it says app nav. And what the plane should do, it's going to try to cross, it's going to try to get this blue arrow that's decentered at the moment. It's going to head towards that until it starts centering up. And when it starts centering up, it is going to turn to the direction the arrow is pointing and get us on the 180 radial from the Hugo VOR. Once we get down there, then we'll switch over to the LAA, which we're going that way anyway. But we'll try to dial in the Lamar VOR and, you know, pick a, you know, like the 120 radial. Try to make our way along this flight plan manually. If we wanted to divert at any time, this is how we do it. Like, sorry, I want to go check over here. Just plug in a different VOR that you want to go to, hit localizer and have it use that. And then when you're ready, turn it off and it'll go back to the GPS plan. They do have VOR 2 active now. And I haven't done that yet. So let me try that now with Lamar. So we'll put that into VOR 2. That is 116.9. And pop that into VOR frequency 2. Okay. Now, it doesn't show up automatically on our screen. We have to turn it on to be able to see it. All right. We need to use these switches here for VOR 2. Turn it on. Now we see VOR 2 in white. Okay. And it's yeah, it's pretty much on the 12300 radial. Oh, I think I may have done, no, I think I've done something wrong, but it hasn't crossed it or caused it to center yet. So still hoping that that's what will happen. It won't make a monkey out of me. And here very, very soon, it'll start turning. Okay. Thank you, Microsoft Defender. Okay. So now let me get my head around what I'm trying to do here. I want to when I get to Lamar, I want to go on the 118 radial south. So, wow. I want 118. Put that into the course. So now it's showing me the 118. To to make sure to see a noticeable change. If we were to change it to 60, you'll see the white arrow change. 60 course. Hey, nay. Hello. 60. What did I do wrong now? Not sure what that one is. When you turn on VOR 1, it gives you an additional white one there. Why we're not getting the proper course heading? Oh no. There's 180 there. No for VOR 1. We don't have a course readout for VOR 2 down here. May have something to do with it, but you can plug it in here. Getting cold here. Pardon me if I sound stuffy. The winter's finally starting to come into Colorado, and we're starting to get cold, and this room gets very, very cold. Still hasn't crossed it, according to this. Try to call. So I'm watching it and it's switched a couple of times and now it's moved over to that side and we are not, it's not tracking it. So something is amiss, awry, what? It's not tracking. What did we do wrong now? What did I do wrong? You done made a monkey's uncle out of me. Silly thing. Let's try Lamar. We'll move that over to VR01 1169. Let's try the 90. Okay. And follow the localizer. Lamar. Dude, come on, you work. $32 miles. I should do a couple of these where I don't talk, and I'm sure people would be happier with that. Would you just do a flight and not try to show us how to do anything? Would you just let us enjoy getting a flight? I could. I don't know. What do you think? Do you enjoy, going through these kind of things? Or what do you look? That's the biggest question. What do you look for when you're looking for people doing Microsoft Flight Simulator flights? What do you want? What do you want to see? What do you need? Do you watch them for instructional information? Do you watch them just for the visual information? Would you, do you like seeing flights all from this position? Or I know some people have said they don't have a problem with things like this, to where it's all the entire flight, a whole Microsoft Flight Simulator flight, just that's it, from the taxi to everything. Your view doesn't change. You get, occasionally switch over to this window. And they're content to just enjoy, an hour or two just with this on their screen, just flying along somewhere. So I'm really interested. If you are watching this live stream and you've not completely fallen asleep by this point, which I probably have, I doubt anybody's going to make it to this point in the live stream. It's too many mistakes and too long. I'm even tired. So is that what you look forward to? If so, then hey, I don't have any problem doing that. Setting up flights like this where it's just the window seats and I'll just fly you around. Won't say much. I mean, I'll talk, but I'm not going to be going, hey, this is how I create a flight plan. This is how you do stuff. No tutorials. It's just, minimal talking. If you need me, I'm here monitoring chat, but I'm just going to be your pilot and enjoy. So please, yeah, answer that question. What do you want? With that, your captain here has to, now that the coffee is kicking in, that's why they don't really want you to drink a lot of coffee when you're learning how to fly, which, take away all the last bits of joy that I have in life. But anyway, the coffee's kicking in. I think you know what I mean. So I'm going to leave it here into this position for a few minutes and run to the back of the plane. Maybe chit chat with a stewardess or two, woohoo. And I will be back in a moment. Chat me if you need me, or raise, say something in chat. Please excuse me for a few more minutes. I have some paperwork I need to fill out. Oh, I should have said, pardon me, this is your captain speaking. Please forgive me if I am quiet for the next 5 to 10 minutes. I have flight paperwork and charts that need to be gone over. Sit back and relax and enjoy the flight. I need to get one of those noises. Captain speaking. Static. Your captain speaking. I have concluded with all my flight deck paperwork that I needed to get done. I hope you've been enjoying your peaceful flight. We're making a small little turn here to VGD, the VOR. You can see that on your little side VFR map there. I don't have any drinks to offer you at the moment. I can offer you a lovely radioactive cat. Thank you for flying. Whatever you do, please don't shoot. Please don't shoot the radioactive cat. So, the last time we were in the cockpit, I was having a difficult time with the computer as usual. Yesterday it was fine. I was moving between VORs, and today I can't seem to get it to want to follow a VOR. So you see we're headed towards a VOR right now, BGD. So in Skyvector, see if I can find that here. BGD. The frequency is 108.6. No. Sorry. Roll 5. 108.6. Okay. And we're going to be roughly turning at that VOR on the course of like 110. Okay. So it didn't take. Oh, that's VOR2. Are we on VOR2? That could have something to do with it. That should be in the off position. VOR1. BGD. Now on our screen it says VOR APP there too. Okay. Maybe I was just not paying attention to the switches. But as of yet, we have not been able to hit a VOR and have it fly directly to one and hit the radial that we want and turn on the radial that we want. So I'm going to be awful dissatisfied, dear passenger, if I can't get it to do that during this flight. I'm still trying to keep us following the course. I don't want to deviate too much. I've wasted too much of your time with the instructionals at the start, which again brings me to asking you the question. I would really like to keep making these. Now, YouTube says, look, everybody's kind of doing these flight videos, and you know, it's filling up the place, and you know, you're not getting a lot of response and your numbers aren't moving really particularly well. There's an interest in these Microsoft Flight Simulator videos, but whatever you're doing, you're not doing it right. So please, if you have made it to this point or just happen to click in and now hear me talking about this and asking these questions, what is it you look for in Microsoft Flight Simulator videos? Tutorials? A quiet scenic flight like just a minute ago, just the window seat, a whole flight from window seats to where, you know, you're not really hearing the captain. You know, there's no instructional, there's no tutorial. It's just different views as the plane is flying from one point to the other, live with live weather on, live AI traffic, live, you know, cockpit noise, or, you know, just again, the seat view. So I really need to figure out again, to keep making these and make them enjoyable to a YouTube audience. I need to know what you want. And it really doesn't matter to me. I'm flying, I'm using the simulator, and I'm having a good time. I can always do what I want to do. Anyway, I would love to know what you think, what you want, and we'll see if we can get the numbers going up and make the, you know, a larger community happy and make YouTube happy. And, you know, there's been problems lately, either with algorithms or again, the content, where they don't want to allow me to monetize again. And it's nothing nefarious or mean or conspiratorial. It's just that I'm doing something wrong. And I would like to do this just like everybody else gets to do it and do what they want and have a good time on YouTube. And during pandemic and lockdowns and that just extra little penny, it'd be disingenuous to say, oh, I'm not doing this for the money. I would, who doesn't want the best of both worlds? It would be a lie. I love doing this. As you can see, look at all the videos I've made, and I've just taken down dozens and dozens because I didn't know what the problem was and what Microsoft or what YouTube found as a problem in them. It was just better to just rip them all out and, you know, start over. So I probably deleted 100 videos. So that's my point, is I love doing this. I love flying. I'm working on music videos, but that stuff is really, those are long-term projects. Like, you know, these are a couple hours here, a couple hours there. The other ones are, you know, full work weeks trying to get out 3 to 30 seconds of video. So I've got stuff coming. It's just those projects are going to take a while, and I need a break from doing a lot of that work and just need to have fun like everybody else. So yeah, I love the flying thing, and I would love to be able to make videos that are enjoyable to a larger community. Yep. Still waiting to see what happens. I'm keeping my eye on the screen. I'm just waiting to see as we approach this VOR, the BGD. The plane is going to turn anyway, but I want to, well, I guess the best way would be to make it turn in a direction it's not supposed to turn. So at the intersection up ahead, you know, it's going to start deviating towards the east. If I told it to just, you know, head to like 10 degrees, it'll be a sharp change of direction. Like 30. That doesn't seem to be showing us. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the right radial. No, that isn't working right. No. Uh, 508. I want to say maybe it's working. That's kind of hopeful right there. It's deviated from the turn. So it should hit BGD and go south on the 180. Blue needle's moving, but not in the direction I wanted. No, now it's showing that course. What's it turning? There it goes. What are you doing? What are you doing? No. No, it's still following GPS. There's Loke. No, no, no. What are you doing? A range. Oops. So far, unable to get it to do what I want and get it to follow just the VOR that I want. The next VOR up ahead is, man, are we that close already? Thank goodness. I'll be like, oh my God, will this ever end? Right. We have just enough time. Nothing wants to work right. This doesn't want to stretch right now. Everything is being a pain. And then this map is terribly slow. There it goes. Now it's responding. The map, anyway. So what I'm looking for is the nearest VOR from our position. And it's, again, this map is difficult. It's like pulling teeth, rolling up and down in it, trying to, then you got to wait for it to populate every time you make a move. Maybe A is where we're at. Okay, the Childress VOR 1170. Let's try that. I'm clicking everything at this point. It's like, what in the world? This is, you know, like basic stuff. Say approach. Hmm. There, you know, I can always change the course heading. I mean, I can always fly to it. That's not the point. The point is it should be doing the flying, not me. Did it suddenly decide to work? It's turning. Great. Okay, so that if it's working now, it should respond to 180 and spin right back around. It should go, hey, oh, he changed his mind. Go the other way. Turn back around. Which way are we going to go? Are we going to go all the way around this way or turn back the other way? Thank goodness. I got it to work at least once on this flight. You can see that, yeah, we're not following the GPS anymore. Sheesh. So that is the way you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to put your VOR frequency in here and put your course in here and click localizer here. That's it. That's really all you should have to do. These switches here are so you can see the VOR tags, and I'm in this position. The VOR using this switch here, the first switch into the rose VOR position. And these switches, VOR 1 on, VOR 2 on, allow you to see the VOR 1 and VOR 2 arrows. Right? As soon as you want to get back, let it line up on 1.8, and then all you have to do then is just turn off localizer and it'll go back to the GPS. Okay, it works. It is now lining up on the 180 radial from the VOR. Let me turn off the localizer. Simple as that. That's all I'm supposed to do. All you should have to do. Plane should now just resume its flight plan. Okay, good. Now for my next trick. See if we don't break it this time. The next trick is having to, well, there's two tricks that you could do at this point. One, if you want to, having to directly just at this point, go someplace else. Just change direction and go directly to someplace. So for example, right out here, we have this airport ahead of us here. AHBR, right? AHBR, okay? So on your MCDU, if you hit the direct key like on your Garmin, just like on the Garmin, no different, type in AHBR. Whoops. And click the uppermost waypoint here to enter the HBR into our direct to. You see at the top of the screen here, it says direct to. Don't know how to use these ones over here yet. Click that. HBR, it says it's gold. So, you know, you can erase it or make it active. You hit here, it now becomes direct. Now we're heading directly to that. Now, here's what I said. See if I broke this or not. Now I want to get back to my flight plan. Oh, no, we don't want to go there. Click on my flight plan. Let's see here. Or direct. Do we use direct again? Flight plan. Or do we clear it? seems to have deleted our flight plan. That's unusual. There we go again. Another something unusual. I'm not used to it deleting the flight plan, and it shouldn't have. All we did is enter a direct to. The whole entire flight plan should still be in here. And then all we usually do is click the point you were going to next on your waypoint, and it resumes your GPS course. So something's buggy with that now. Or I've done something wrong, but I think it's something buggy because all you would have to do is go to flight plan and go direct to. And now it's completely blown out our flight plan. Okay, well, we still know that we wanted to go to Dallas Fort Worth, KDFW, so we could still create a new flight plan right now, or just go direct to. Yeah, I'll go to init. And let's do try it again. Let's see what happens here. Get into re-enter it. Didn't take it. And we'll just set it up here. A-H. Okay, there it took it. All right. Now flight plan. KDFW. We don't have an arrival yet. But it's turning to get back and go back to it. Okay, good. Okay. So it's now reestablished and going back to Dallas Fort Worth. Okay. Try this now. Click on KDEN. Why are you going amber on me? Why aren't you giving me the page that I want? This has just been a comedy of errors. Not getting my arrival or departure screens. Where's the cell? Cell's up ahead. What I was hoping to do is again quickly add in a couple of these waypoints in here and there. Okay, there. Not used to using the ones down here. Law. Oh boy. Coordinates. Coordinates for law. VOR. At Wichita Falls. Lawton. Let's try it. No, that's not. I chose wisely and picked the right one. Well, it doesn't like duck, that's for sure. Okay, let's try SPS. How frustrating. Yeah, it's so frustrating. It doesn't, nothing is working right. So what I'm trying to do now is just add, as we travel down this way, I was going to go from law over here to duck and then to SPS and then continue on to try to add, to show, okay, well, now that we've recreated it, let's, add in a waypoint. We got one in, these two don't want to work. Yeah. I don't think you're saying it. Why aren't, did I pop it out somehow? Yikes. There you go. I added in law and I was trying to add in duck there, the DUC, and then below that, SPS, there's a VOR. Then there's UKW up ahead. We can try that one. Mm-mm. Take it, you. Take it. Law. 77. Frustrating. Now it doesn't want to take the victors either. Again. 7-7. I'm looking at it right here on the map. It does exist. Now that it's active, we can try it. Try it again. UKW. Continue. Nothing. Oh, there it goes. Just now trying to add in UKW. VOR. Okay. That worked. So now it added in UKW. And we do not have an arrival set up yet.
Fort Worth Center, Kenia's 2117,000 feet. Kenia's 21 Fort Worth Center, altimeter 29.9 to continue as planned.
Too far out. All right. After that, I need a break. I'm gonna put it into scenic mode. Stand up and stretch my legs. So let me go to my camera. Go back to your window seat. And I'll be back shortly.
Kenia's 21 contact Fort Worth Center on 133.25. Good day. Kenia's 21, please acknowledge. One three three decimal 25 Kenia's 21.
No way. We're here already? Well, that is not what I was expecting. But that's par for the cars. The cars. Of course, I had cats to attend to. I had a cat thing. So let's contact air traffic control, get a runway, and see if we can get down. Get down tonight. And I think I am going to do later a live stream that's just a window seat. No talking, no tutorials. Just a window seat flight from start to finish. Maybe Denver to LA or something. Live time, live traffic. Send and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect Alice runway 18 right. For Ickle. What is it? Runway 18 right. Cockpit. Try this. Right. Yeah, Ickle transition cleared to Ickle. Don't see Ickle. Ickle via Ickle. Oh, I see. Yes. Yes. What does that look like? Back out here. Okay. Okay. We need to be 9,000. And it was 18 right. So if we go to Skyvector real quick. Go to KDFW. $18 right. We need to be at 2,400 feet for Nettie. We need to be at 4,000 feet for Ickle. So ultimately 2,400 feet. Says it's going to Ickle. Yeah, it's over here. Right? Whoops.
Kinias 2-1 cleared to DFW Airport as filed. Squawk 0447. Kinias 2-1 read back correct. Radar contact 16,100 feet. Altimeter 29er decimal 9er 2 turn left heading 130. Proceed on course descend and maintain 11,000 feet. Turn left heading 130. Proceed on course descend and maintain 11,000 feet. Kinias 2-1. Kinias 2-1, you are 12 miles northwest. Descend and maintain.
Okay, same flight plan. Ickle 18 right. Ickle.
18 right approach via Ickle transition.
Okay, we don't need VOR on.
Kinias 2-1 descend and
That
maintain
on.
4,000 feet.
I don't know if it's going to Ickle or not. So let's come down here
2-1 descend and maintain 4,000 feet.
and make it.
Kinias 2-1, did you copy? Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 18 right approach via Ickle transition. Cleared to Ickle. Kinias 2-1. Kinias 2-1 descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
I don't know how to make it slow down.
Kinias 2-1, please acknowledge. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Kinias 2-1. Kinias 2-1, contact Fort Worth Center on 124.75.
Oh, what do they want now?
Going to 124.75. Kinias 2-1. Fort Worth Center. Kinias 2-1 is passing 11,700 feet, descending 3,000 feet.
Kinias 2-1 Fort Worth Center altimeter 29er decimal 9er 2 continue to leader as planned. Kinias 2-1 contact regional approach on 133.525. Good day.
On, get down. Get down, get down, get down.
Kinias 2-1, please acknowledge.
Folks,
133
it's a lot to juggle.
25 Kinias 2-1. Kinias 2-1 descend
Oh yeah. The reverse thrust isn't working properly, so this leads for an interesting landing. Sorry about the bouncing back there, passengers. We need to get down really, really fast in a very short distance. So we're going to be doing the bobbing up and down here for a minute. Don't fret, wings won't fall off, but we are going to be doing some jostling. So just think of it as a light amusement ride at the moment as we descend just a little bit further. A couple more bobs up and down and we're good. Yeah. So we're on approach for Dallas Fort Worth in the quest for the perfect tamale right here around dinner time. Little later than that. Close enough. You know, plenty of time to hit the town and go to all the popular and unpopular spots to try to find the best tamale. And that's what this flight was all about. Through the pain and suffering, the agony, and the woe of this particular flight. We're finally here and seeing it come together. Now watch me crash. Ah! It'd be very difficult to keep because the reverse thrust isn't working right, keeping yourself all the way back in the seat so you can see out the window and also see your reverse thrust, because you have to manually do it in the cockpit and pull these things down. You still have to engage the spoilers and disconnect the autopilot. So when you take off, it's like a lot to do, and then during the flight, and not much to do, and then 100 things to do right before you land, and do them all at once. So turn off the autopilot, kick on the spoilers, kick in the reverse thrust, do a flare, and do it all at once.
1,000.
I want to thank you for joining me on this flight. Understand if you don't want to stick around for the taxiing, completely understand.
500.
I will probably do an entire window seat flight tonight where I don't talk, no tutorial, no nothing, just a window seat. You don't get anything else, just the window seat for the whole flight. Sounds like punishment. Could be wonderful. Hey now,
300.
no slowing down. Why are you gacking on me? Don't gag. We're gonna come in for a landing.
200.
Getting FPS lag really bad.
100.
This is not the time for that, folks.
40. 20. Retard. 5.
Oh, come on. What's going on with the thrust? In the reverse thrust position. Get down. Man, this airport is laggy bad. That was harrowing. That sucked. Okay. Turn off the speed brake. Only had one reverse thruster going. That's lovely. Put the flaps up. Yeah, this is a heavy lag airport. We don't even have AI traffic on.
DFW ground, Kineas 2-1 request taxi to the gate. Kineas 2-1 taxi to gate Delta 18 using taxiway Echo 6 Echo Bravo cross runway 36 right Bravo.
Right. Steve, it's all you, buddy. Steve, go there.
Kineas 2-1, please acknowledge.
Steve has it. It's okay.
Kineas 2-1, please acknowledge.
Steve's not one for talking.
Taxiing to gate Delta 18 via taxiway Echo 6 Echo Bravo cross runway 36 right Bravo Kineas 2-1.
Yeah, this is a very, very. I heard there's a lot of problems with Dallas in general. Everybody says the maps aren't right, and there's a big problems with Dallas in general. And I wonder if it's military. You know, I mean, you just have to wonder sometimes what causes some cities not to be updated and like withholding information or hiding information or whatever. It's the terminal. Nice. I like that. Another big parking lots. Yeah. Oh, and more. Wow. So shuttle services. No, I swear I just heard an elephant. What the heck? I'm hearing animals. Gotta be animals in the environment. Wow, this is a big place. And I thought Denver was big. No. I like this though, where all the runways are here, not all spread out. Las Vegas is nice too, where they got it all nice and compact. Okay, there's Steve Areno. Getting there. Yeah, tough airport, isn't it? Much lag. Just moving the camera around. Oh. Well, I don't want to fly here again. It's too much lag. So yeah, I'm seriously thinking about doing some window flights. Because I don't want to do the same things over and over again. And I do want to keep flying. And, I've seen videos of 10 hours of airline flying and it's like 2 million views. What? It's just flights. Just window seat flights. I'm gonna do some of those tonight. Trying to figure out how to gonna work. I've never really trusted Steve to do entire flights. He flies into mountains and things, especially when taking off from Colorado Springs or Denver all the time. You have to keep a serious eye on him because between him and ATC, easy. One of the main reasons why I wanted to learn how to use the MCDU to create flight plans is for stringing together flights. So once I pull in here, role-playing simulation, truly role-playing simulation, where you pull in, get everything hooked up, and then take a break, come back, put in another flight, and take off from here and go to your next destination and do the same thing. And, see how many flights you can string together So I've done like 5, 6 flights at one time. So, I mean, it works when it works, and it works nice. Everything plays nice. So yeah, that is one of the best reasons why, you know, to learn the MCD if you want to do that. Where are you taking us, Steve? This is embarrassing. All the airline traffic and everything is down, you know what I mean? So even without, I can't imagine. I've got everything pretty much at airports turned down, you know, all the vehicles and people and yada yada yada, to keep the load off the system. And it just, this airport, but I hate not seeing it through. It's one of those, yeah, I could terminate the live stream now, call it a flight, but I'm not happy until we get there. I can get out and, you know, my whole role play in my mind about going to Texas and doing the tamale hunt and stuff, and it just won't be complete and fully realized until we pull in and do all that stuff. I should take over from Steve and just gun it. Gun the engines. Come on, let's get there, Steve. Come on. I've just got you inching along. I guess no matter what, even if it's a big airport or a you know, one like Denver or one like this, taxiing still takes forever. Doesn't matter. What are you doing, man? Are you broke? Your arrows are broke. What are you doing? All right, I'm taking over. So more problems with Dallas. The path looks broken and he's over here trying to shove me into a corner. What are you doing? Oh, he's got control. He's still not giving it up. Or you're gonna run us into a wall, man. And now I'm stuck. And it's only turning one way. It's one of the reverse thrusters still engaged. No. What did you do to the plane, man? Oh, this is painful. It's like you jam the wing into something. Can't reverse thrust anymore. I can't turn. There we go. I got away. I broke away from whatever the heck had us locked into. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give this particular live stream experience 1. If you rate it higher than that, you're very kind. Well, that's good enough for me. Heck with it. Turn the engines off. Start her off. Seems like let's go to end mission. I'm not getting any movement. Wow, it's even got, there it goes. Man, it stalled everything. All right, then that officially does it. This live stream. Then, I mean, we can continue, but it's just too painful at this airport to, you know, set up everything and string together another flight or whatever. So it's that time of the evening. It was time for dinner anyway. The whole tamale thing. So it's timed out right. I'm gonna go have dinner, spend some time, relax, come back this evening and set up I'm gonna do one of the Windows only flights and see if Steve can do the whole flight by himself. So I'll set up a nice flight and somewhere, not back to this place, and yeah, see if we can. I don't know if anybody would be interested, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Just a whole live stream. It's just from the window seat perspective. No talking, no tutorials, no me yakking about anything. I don't even, you know, I'll say hello. This is your captain speaking. Thanks for, you know, coming on. I don't care if you drink or smoke, you know, it's here to fly you around. With that, thank you. This has been Tony T. Kinneas 2020 on the forums. Happy flying.